This part of the layout, town of Mill Bend, actually came from the previous version of the Bear Creek and South Jackson in my old garage. I took part of the layout from, about here, all the way over to here, and it went into storage while the new house was being built. To mount it, I just put a 2x4 along the wall here, a cleat, and another one over here, and I just set the benchwork up on top of it. The benchwork is a piece of 3/4 inch plywood underneath, and then there's some diagonal braces underneath, and then there's a plywood stiffener that runs along the front here to keep it from doing this sort of thing. This is one of those diagonal braces I was talking about. It keeps the benchwork from flopping up and down, anchors it nice and strong. I got them on 4-foot centers. There's one here, there's one here, there's another one over here, and one further down too. The other leg of Mill Bend has got diagonal braces also. I built the benchwork around the walls by screwing cleats to the wall. Then I screwed and glued joists to those cleats. I just did that one joist at a time, working my way around the wall. Had to be careful to make the cleats vertical and to make the joist projecting out from them be vertical. Well, here's a sequence showing you how I built the helix table. We start with the legs, then put the sides on to hold the legs in place, then built the bracing that went underneath, screwed and glued all that together. Then we screwed and glued the top on. Then we're going to be cutting a hole in the top to pop up into the middle of the helix for access purposes. For the peninsula, I'm using some engineered floor joists. Got the idea from Lee Nicholas. I've got 6 4x4 legs that I notched, and the joists can sit inside the notches. I use shims to hold them in place, to level them, so that the joists are actually sitting on the shims, are not supported by screws at all. The screws just keep the joists from flopping away from the legs. I put some stiffeners between the two joists to prevent them from flopping in and out, and also to make a stronger place to attach risers to. On the top of the joists, I ran some 3/4 inch plywood as a flange, turning the joists into a giant L-girder. Across the top of that, I ran a whole bunch of joists that I cut out of plywood. With the stiffeners and joists in place, I could add the risers, and then I could add joists for the upper deck coming out. And then from the top of that, I put 1x1s going up, and those will support the backdrop. Well, I reckon that's about it. Underneath all this pretty stuff up here, there's just a bunch of wood and things screwed to the walls. I tried to cantilever out from the walls where I could. I tried to minimize the number of legs reaching down to avoid clutter and obstructions underneath the layout. Hope you found this useful.